Hey, now it's time to hit, Joe.
We still done?
No, we went 40. Appreciate y'all here today.
Oh, no, that's all good.
We just try to do everything.
I get it, bro. I get it. Yeah, it's all good. No worries. Hey, Joe, now you can hit somebody. Hey, still stay on your feet. Be an athlete. That don't mean leave your feet. Good.
I'm boxing it, right? I'm not spelling, I'm boxing.
Oh, yeah.
Let's say you pull boxing.
Yeah, everything hammer for the most part.
Okay.
Yeah.
Outside.
Everything hammer. Yeah.
So make everything come in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, remember, you ain't got to go.
You know, what we used a lot was hammer and spill. Back. Find it, Keith. There we go. We'll take it, Joe. Come on. There we go. Hey, that's how it should finish. With two backers vicing the ball. Like, get as much depth as you need, but it shouldn't be no excuse why the backers don't find the ball. You know what I mean? That's good stuff. Like sometimes.
Hey, this right here?
Hey, Joe, no, we doing this one right here. This one right here. So you running 4 and 2.
6. Hey, you dropping off 3, Keith. You dropping off 2, Joe. There it is. Hey, look, it's a dig. It's a linebacker's play. Like, let me see you driving that. You with me?
Yeah.
Let me see you driving that. I want to turn and see you watching that being caught. You know what I mean? Man, stop playing, man. Okay, that's all good. Mostly backers.
Street, what's up with you, baby? We back in the building. What's up with you, dog?
Change on you, dog. That was fast, wasn't it?
Waiting for that boy back there doing hair and makeup in that thing, man. We back in here, man, on Hayes Street. What's up with everybody, man, on this Thursday? Got a little, I guess pivot might be the right word. A little pivot for the day, man. We got something special for the people on the block, man, at Hayes Street, man. We look good, boy. We sound good, but you're looking fresh right there. Boy, I like that.
Yeah, man, I had to pull out the heat, man. Heat needs somebody to pray for them and Jimmy Butler, man. So I had to pull out the heat joint, man. They need prayer, bro.
Well, I thought you was a 504 boy for a minute. I almost want to say, thought I was Master P, huh?
You know how many times people don't tell me I look like Master P, man?
I thought my dog got on some manatis. That boy selling product now. That boy got tater chips. He ain't got potato chips. He got tater chips. You know, man,
you ever saw Master P live?
I've never seen him live. I almost had, man. Master P owed me some money, boy, because he had me going to the store buying all them albums. You couldn't burn them back then. They were $19 a watt, boy. So he owed me some cash.
Man, I went to see Master P live twice. I saw him live in South Carolina, small town in South Carolina. I swear to God, man, that man, it had to be 3 hours, 4 hours late, bro. We were standing up, bro. It was crazy. Like, just waiting. And then they swarmed on stage, 30, 40, like a mob. It wasn't no show. It was just like,
just like cats with a microphone.
Out there with microphones and but then my car broke down on the way home. But I enjoyed it. That was at the height of it too. 1995, 97, 98. That was at the height of it, dog. Yeah.
Oh, my CD book used to be in the car. Well, nothing but I had a whole P section, dog. Nothing but no limit section, bro. I had all the artwork. You know, you put the CD in front of the artwork in the CD books. Yeah. So we going back a little bit. We showing why our beer is great. But hey, shout out to Players Club. Remember when my man say, "Hey, that Luke, man, he can holler at me. I buy his records." Well, guess what? If I see P, he can holler at me. I bought all his records from Mia X to all of them. So guess what, P? If you ever see me, you owe me a little kickback. I put
all of them. They all the same format, wasn't they?
Man, I put that gold tank in his front yard. That's what I did. But anyway, man, we're in the building, man. We got a great show here today, man. We got a big announcement. We're gonna talk about it for y'all that's just joining. You missed the opening clip. Had a young man. It's funny, I'm calling people young men, dog. Golly, I'm getting over that hill.
I know.
We got a young man.
Head, man.
I sound like old.
Sound just like an old head, man. Got a young man. You got a young man coming up. Young man.
Man, you about to make me
Yeah,
go to the store and go get that beard stuff, man. So I power up, man. But anyway, I will get that Beijing. But anyway, man, we got a great announcement right here. And for a lot of people that know or maybe don't know, you know, myself and Street, I think the reason we get along the way we do, because I think our kind of philosophies on this whole media thing aligns, where we want to, you know, talk about sports, but give people opportunities and big up people. And we also, you know, support folks and these kids as so far as the players and these coaches and all of that kind of stuff, man. And we really see the value in that. So Street, I'll let you take it away. However you want to, we can rock with it, make it happen.
You know, you was doing such a great job, dog. You was doing such a great job.
Just saying, dog. That's what we do. That's what we do, dog. We Batman and Robin. The question is, who is Robin?
It don't matter, dog. No, man, like you said, we got a big announcement. We got man. We got another NFL guy, man, and you love when they come back, want to get involved. You know what I'm saying? Run a program at a program in South Florida, and he chose us to come here and announce it. You know what I'm saying? So he's gonna jump on here with us in a second. We got him in the back. We're gonna bring him to the stage. I'm sound like this goddamn going Apollo or something coming to the stage. We got 6-year NFL. Yeah, we're gonna bring him up here, man. We've been going back and forth for a while. We've been talking, trying to see how we can get, you know what I'm saying, get things work together. I met him maybe last year at an event, and sometimes when you just patient with stuff, right? You patient and let things work itself out. You find where you intersect at, and this is where we intersect at today. We saw what Teddy Bridgewater did at Northwestern. Right. I don't try to put no pressure on this man. You know what I'm saying? But the bar is state championship year one. We saw that shit. I don't know. Teddy had God on his side. He had a rabbit's foot in his. Teddy had a lot going with him. You know what I'm saying? Central had to get sanctioned. Norland had to get sanctioned. You feel me? But he had a lot going for him, and his team started playing well at the right time. Because to win, Hayes, that has to happen. And he caught a state championship. So we got another guy coming back to lead a team in the community, man, which we need somebody who can explain to these kids how this stuff works, both sides of it, the business side and the athletic side. And his name is JT Thomas. We're going to bring him up here, and he's actually going to let the world know, where he's going to be coaching at next year.
Yeah, there it is, man. And, you know, like I said, we were kind of talking pregame there, and I actually coached against this guy, right? And yeah, I actually coached against him, man.
I heard y'all. You had a game plan for him. You remember him?
Well, hey, listen. Well, I was on offense. I was on defense, and he was on defense. So that was up to who was our coordinator then? I can't remember who the offensive coordinator was at the time. But I'm glad I didn't. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, I'm cool with that. But I beat that bullet. But anyway, but I think, like I said, it was all good, man. We started going down memory lane and all of that kind of stuff. And we'll definitely dive into that. But to that point, though, Street, we talk about these things on these shows all the time, right? Guys coming back, guys giving back to the community. You know, these guys going to the NFL, and some make good money, some make great money, some make hardly no money, and that's fine. But they all seem to find time to come back to the crib and give back to what gave to them. And that's what's interesting, man. So I guess without further ado, man, we could string this thing along, but I want to get right into it because I got some questions for my man right here. So what you think? Now you ready to clap it up?
Yeah, let's bring him in, man. Bring him in.
I ain't got my clap, but y'all clap it up for JT in the building. What's up with you, baby?
Yo, what's going on, gentlemen, man? Good. Thanks for having me today, man. Good being here. Wouldn't want to be anywhere else than Hayes Street tonight, man. Mr. Street, I appreciate you, big dog, being consistent and persistent about things, man, making sure I was able to get here. I appreciate y'all having me on, man. This is a great platform. I'm glad we get a chance to collaborate, and definitely we get the fans a little bit to look on to tonight, man.
Nah, that's awesome, man. He called you Mr. Streeter, so I ain't the only old dude.
Man, we getting older and older.
I ain't the old dude on the block, so I'm loving it. Appreciate you, JT. I know.
Yeah, I promise you that ain't an age thing. I was just raised that way. You know what I mean? I call
Ain't nothing
everybody.
wrong with it.
You know what I mean?
It's all good.
Now, I
It's all
will say
good.
y'all had me reminiscing a little bit. I thought y'all was going to, y'all know anything about the 5 heartbeats?
Yeah.
Of course.
I thought y'all was going to hit me with that. Now, this next group says they're better than Bird and the Midnight Falcons. All in one. Well, we shall see. You know what I mean?
Well, we shall see, but we're going to find out. We're going to find out real quick, man. We're going to find out real quick.
Yeah.
So real quick, man, for people that don't know, or people like I say, people just joining, we're here with JT Thomas, NFL player, former NFL player now, and he's doing some post-NFL career moves here. But let the people kind of know who you are, where you started, how you got this thing, going and all that stuff.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, man, born and raised in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. My dad played ball. He was pretty good at a little bit of Dillard and ended up at Crete. James Thomas, my dad. And my mom, my dad kind of went off to college. Mom raised me down here. I grew up playing for the Western Tigers at Sunland Park, in Fort Lauderdale. We competed, pretty fiercely. The first coach ever put the ball in my hands, Tony Tate. Still my mentor to this day. I got to drop by and see him. It's been a while, but our coaches down here, are right there next to our dads in that level of influence that you have from a young kid. And then from there, it's weird and oddly enough, I kind of chased the magnet program all the way up to Deerfield, Crystal Lake. And then I went over to Ely High School to join their magnet program in engineering. And I was just blessed by the grace of God, man, to be there doing the height, of our football existence, to be able to witness Tyrone Moss, Taraz McCray, Bain, Cyron Williams, Clint Session, James Martin, just so many guys. I can go on and on, all D1 guys, but, all with the ability to maybe play in the NFL. I just remember being dropped off that first day. I go in there, Clint Session got 4-5 on the bar. And, those moments in your career where, you have to look at yourself in the mirror and see, and see if the thing is for you or not, and the things that helped me compete and excel well, down in Fort Lauderdale were not necessarily the things that would provide me opportunity up in Pompano. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But you talk about my, my home away from home, Pompano, man, pound for pound, maybe the most talent-rich city in South Florida. Of course that, comes with a lot of, back and forth, man. But, from the Patrick Petersons, Joshua Moore, him and I end up on the Bears at the same time, to have played with each other in high school and then end up drafted to the same team, that competition was fierce from the high school. I remember Major Wright being on my team when I was,
wow.
And I can go on and on, guy after guy, who've had a chance to, lace them up, especially at the little league level where we all get a chance to compete a little bit. And some of the greatest guys, y'all know this well. Some of the greatest guys, you never even hear about them, right? So, man, I've lived a very blessed path, man. I'm glad Mom made sure that the books were important to me from day one. I've always kind of was attracted to the work part. That never scared me away, and that's paid me dividends here in life at this point, man. Just being on that lifelong quest of learning, from a young age. So, I just like I was telling, Darryl earlier, I'm just another guy, man. You know what I mean? Just here to serve my purpose. I've been truly blessed, because a lot of the kids and a lot of guys have talent down here. But to make it, you got to be blessed by God. You got to be covered by God. Injury is inevitable, right? It's really about how long you can dodge the bullet, mm-hmm. Until the inevitable happens. And then how do you deal with that? Right. Mm-hmm. So, drafted to the Bears. First 5 long years at West Virginia, had a chance to win a few BCS bowl games. Pat White, Steve Slayton. An even bigger, media guy in football, Pat McAfee, right? I remember Pat being drop dead funny, like, even back when we were playing ball, he was always the guy with the mic in his hand, So, I remember those long days at West Virginia, 5 long years at West. You'll never see that again. One kid at one school for 5 years is over for that, right? And then, to be drafted, battled through some injuries there my senior year at West Virginia, but still able to be drafted. And although in the 6th round, it felt like the 1st round, and having that, house full moment, everybody hugging, babies crying, having that real draft experience was really special for me, doing it back home in Fort Lauderdale. Yeah, man. And then from there, Giants, drafted to the Bears, 2 years there. Picked up by the Jags, where I played maybe my best ball. And then to finish my career with the Giants there, just a real blessing, man. And to be coached by some of the greatest, Lovie Smith there in Chicago, learned to cover 2 from him. Gus Bradley there in Jacksonville, Legion of Boom, Super Bowl, championship, defense, and then in New York, my defensive coordinator was Steve Spagnuolo. You know what I mean? Won a few Super Bowls back to back, and to just have learned a lot from those guys, and even more about football, just more about life, how to walk, how to stay with it. And the game has done much more for me than I can ever justify. You know what I mean? And all I can do at this point is pay it forward. And I hope to continue to do that here at another level.
You rehearsed that, man? What the hell was that? Boy, how many times you had to run? How many times you done said that, bro? That boy just took up on a hospital.
Don't do me like that.
The day he got drafted.
Yeah.
I love. Hey, be prepared. My dog say if you ready, you got to get ready.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, I left some meat on the bone for us to pick through, man. So yeah, man, I'm all ears, man. Let's have at it.
Well, that's like great. I said, I think that's awesome, man. And what I love is, like I said, you kind of walk through your journey, man, which is pretty cool, and we'll dive back into that. So far, because I got some questions. Matter of fact, you had the Bears. Were you there with Ron Turner? You probably there with Ron Turner. Was the OC? Was he the OC at the time with Lovey? Because I worked with him at FIU, but I know he was the OC there.
During those rookie days, you can bear it's all a fog, right?
There's 1,000 people in there, right?
You're trying to learn how to be a pro. You get that fine for the first time. Oh man,
you get that FedEx envelope. You get that FedEx envelope.
All of a sudden, you figure out how to not ever be late for anything, right? And really, you got to try to take that into life, man. But when that check on the line, like, you find a way to be present when you need to be available when they pay you good, so that there's never any excuse to not be, right? But there was definitely a learning curve there, man. I came in during the lockout year, right? So I didn't get my spring, right? The wheel that was in front of me during that time, was I believe holding out against some contract stuff, straighten out. So literally the first rep, my boy Major Writer's in the huddle as well too. But I'm breaking, Brian Urlacher is looking at me calling the play. Lance Briggs is beside me. Julius Peppers is in front of me. Charles Tillman is beside me. Major behind me. And they like, ready, break. You know what I mean? So, just having that surreal moment of where, man, I'm on the field with Hall of Famers and I'm supposed to be here kind of thing. That can take a full year to kind of get acclimated to alone, right? But the big thing for me, when I missed that spring, my body wasn't quite prepared to handle, a real preseason, not a 2-game, the 4-game preseason, where that last one is gladiator school, and you got to make it through that game. That's your rite of passage, to where you're playing all the special teams, you're playing all the regular downs, and that's the way you make it on this roster kind of thing. Well, unfortunately, kind of tore a little obliques kind of thing, and had the IR that first year. That second year was great. I had a chance to be productive and all that good stuff. Maybe one of the best guys, during that time. But, it was the end of Lovey's run. He had just been ousted, after a 10-6 season. We started the season 6-1 and finished the season, losing 5 out of our last 6, right? Find our way out of the playoffs. They let Lovey go. And when they let your coach go, they let your GM go, they draft 2 linebackers.
It's tough.
The writing's kind of on the wall, right? But, that's where I kind of really developed something, bro, that has stuck that's stayed with me for my entire life. Stay ready, right? You know, that's my like life philosophy, right? To where you think you're going to, the coach that drafted you is going to, you're going to stay here for he's gone. Everyone who drafted you is gone. You find yourself in a new city. I'm in Jacksonville. They lace me up week 1. I block a kick, right? To where, that play alone may be the thing that kept me around long enough to see some real success in the league, right? But I will say my time in Chicago right there, definitely the most important time of my career. I learned how to be a pro from vets. I got a quick story I'll tell y'all, and I try to, not give all my stories here away today, right? Brian Urlacher, right? Asked me, do I want some water? He walks out, and as he walks out, right? First, I'm like, dang, Brian Urlacher, give me some water. Wow, that's cool, right? Man, the guys turned around after he walked out the room and was like, you gonna let Brian Urlacher go get you some water, bro? Like, that's who you think you are? Like, and subtly, without having, make me and tell me what to do, like, that kind of opened my eyes to where I was the guy getting waters after that without you have to. But I mean, he was leading by example. He didn't play me and say, hey, Rook, go get me some water. He actually asked me, but it just showed me and that's like just one story that shows all the savvy things that I learned during that time that I think.
So he was trying to teach you something or tell you something?
And whether he was trying to do it or not, that was the culture of that team.
Gotcha.
Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't, right? But I mean, I can go on and on about the things that I learned from those guys by just watching, like not by asking questions, but from moments like that, Lack, right? He's the kind of guy, the smoke is clearing. Brian Urlacher, you're looking for him to run out of the tunnel, and he's already snuck out of the tunnel and already had his hands shake. He don't even want the camera to catch him coming out the tunnel. Right? The guy kind of shies away from and you just learned how to be a better pro from watching the man so humble. I'm like, okay, if a great can be that humble, like I can surely buy into. And I didn't really have any success there in Chicago until I bought into my role. I stopped feeling like I needed to be the starter and realized, well, dang, the special teams unit is the coolest unit here. Like, I got the best returner in history behind me.
I wonder who was that.
Right, Devin Hester, man. I got to give him his flowers, man. Devin is the GOAT, man. Like, the way he sets that thing up is beautiful, and he has that LeBron effect to where you block a little harder when Devin Hester back there. Even before the ball is even kicked, is a vibe to where the stadium's jumping, Soldier Boy is playing. Like, he sets the mood even before the ball, is kicked in the air.
Cool.
So it just made you play hard, man. It made you play hard for the guy. And in Chicago, no knock on our guys on offense. We knew we weren't relying on points on offense. Like, we were going to take the ball over and score on defense and special teams. So, like, to have learned from that kind of culture, like where the pressure is on the defense and special teams, couldn't have been in a better place to learn the game.
We didn't win a Super Bowl with them though, right?
Nope, missed it. And they didn't win it they didn't win it all together. They I think Peyton got them that year.
Okay.
Yeah, the one when Hess returned the opening kickoff. No, that wasn't quite my group.
You wasn't there?
Not quite. Okay,
so on the field with Devin Hester, right? Let's stay here, because then I'm gonna take you back to Pat McAfee. You see him run? Have he ever returned one while you were on the field?
Oh yeah, for sure. Come on now. I was
being on the field, right? Like, how much faster is he moving than everybody else? Like, what does it look like being on?
He's flying. He's flying. Like, first he's flying horizontally before he ever puts his foot in the, like, to where you're fighting to try to keep up with him across the field. But then when he puts his foot in the ground, like, at that point, you just start heading towards everybody started heading towards the end zone. You know, as in the guys who are blocking and the guys who are tackling. Like,
stop blocking, just run down there to celebrate.
Or at this point, it's a foot race. Like, let's roll. You know, and
Right.
don't ever get caught like looking at them. You might as well be a reindeer at that point, to where, like, if you're looking at them, you ain't blocking them. Like,
right.
You're probably going to get a penalty more than you are going to
Wow.
block anyone. So you run away from him. You're meeting them in the end zone. You know,
Y'all fighting to see who's gonna be second in the end zone. You know he can be first.
Yeah,
I'm second, coach.
You know,
No, listen. You talk about the best players in the world on one field, right? And the best players in the world. I don't give a what position you play. People don't. The best players in the world, and there's one guy on the field that's faster than all of us, bro. Has to be something to see. You know what I'm saying? You're looking at him like, yeah, I'm glad I'm on this side wearing black or blue. It was blue, right? It's dark blue, right?
Yeah. And I think, has to get a bad rap. He can play receiver to where if that was what he spent the majority of his time doing, he'd be a real threat there. Like, if he had to line up in the backfield, I feel like he'd find a crease and make his way. He's an
Lord knows Miami tried everything for some. But we'll talk about that later. God,
and what I like is when you got a guy like Hess, right? Obviously one of the greatest of all time, definitely going to the Hall of Fame. As cool off the field as you would hope he would be with all that success. The kind of guy you want to hang around and play cards with, and he gonna pull up in the flyers matching whips, and like a guy that was I feel like us Florida boys, we do a good job at making sure everybody experiences the vibes, right? To where you might not be able to tell which of us has the $100 million in the bank, right? When we're all rolling together. And, like Devin's from Palm Beach. But we all know that we might compete hard as heck down here. But once we leave here, like Florida boys, we got each other back. Yeah. So like, and there's this inherent "I got your back" kind of thing going on too.
Mm-hmm. No, that's big right there, man. Matter of fact, I was blessed to actually run one of his camps. He came to the school I was coaching at, and he had just moved to Orlando, and he did a youth camp there, and so we had an opportunity to run that for him. So I had a chance to hang out with him. Cool cat, man, down to earth. Talked to every shorty out there. Took pictures. I think he took about 1,000 pictures just that one day. But like you say, he ain't the tallest cat, but he showing up the fastest cat out there.
Man, watch out for his sons, man.
Wow.
He got like 2, 3.
Yeah,
he got like 2 or 3 of them down there. Like,
I deal with him. I deal with him more with his sons and stuff. I talk to him on Instagram a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Devin know what he's doing. Like, he got them boys running track right up to football. Like, they flying. All on flying. Got feet. Yeah, he cheating.
Did you always know? Did you always know you were going to NFL? If not, when did it hit you that you had a shot to play at that level?
Man, you know what's crazy, man? Like, I bet some of the other guys who have made it can maybe attest to this. It's something about when you have this, I'm sure everyone has that dream and vision, right? But I wonder sometimes if everybody felt like it was going to happen the way that I did, right? When I told my parents and mom and grandparents that, I wanted to make it and take care of them, it's like, I was foolish enough to, when you didn't know what the stats were, right? Like when you were not oblivious to how hard it was to actually make it to the NFL. And when you're born and raised in Broward County, and Isaac Bruce live on one street, and Benny Blaze is just so many guys who've done it. You see them all the time. You feel like you're supposed to be next,
right?
So the dream just got closer and closer. The older we kind of got, to where the more it took, the more people would stumble here and there, and you look around and you're one of the last few left, and you really got a chance to make it here. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I did feel like from a very young age that I was talented at certain things, maybe a little bit more than others, maybe more from a hand-eye standpoint and just being a natural athlete. I mean, and literally I knock your mouthpiece out now, that part was always there. right? But the
Mhm.
the athleticism, the speed, that didn't really catch up to me till a little bit later down the line, where I kind of
Mhm.
had to work myself. And this was before YouTube in the workout video, to where, shout out to my mentor Tony Tate again, like just to be sitting on that chair and training me every day for free. Me, him, and his son Tyler Tate, who's not an assistant head coach at Chaminade, right? We're competing every day trying to get better. And man, we trained with countless kids during that time. Like, hey JT, I worked out with you, man. I was at that park with you. And the dream got more clear. The more work we put in, the bigger, faster, stronger we got, the more opportunities we got. And then when you had peers like kind of taking the fast track, like, my man Major Wright was out of there in like 3 years. I felt like I had done something wrong. To
Yes.
where, like, the closer you got to it, the more you felt like, man, this has to be for me, right? So that faith was instilled, at a very young. I mean, I remember all the way back to mom hit me with the "you can do anything that you put your mind." And if someone tells you that young enough, you actually do believe that. And I did, and fortunately, with the grace of God, I was able to accomplish the things I set out to do.
No, that's good stuff, man. You talk about that, and as you look at it, as you go through, because I want to ask you a few questions, but you just said something that was big, and I've had players that's like that. They feel like the class that they came in with, and you saw people walk out in 3 years, right? Because you're eligible after that 3rd year, and for some it takes 5. But the ones that take 5, they feel like they're being left behind, right? Because you came in together. This dude is now going to be in his 2nd year of the league, and you just getting in as a rookie. But yet y'all were freshmen together. What is that like? As you see people around you or your peers on other teams, and you came in together, like you said, Major Wright, being at Florida at the time, and one of the greatest high school championships I've ever seen was Lakeland versus St. Thomas. It down there was that game was crazy. But anyway, what is that like as you go through that? Does it kind of weigh heavy on you? Like, is it for me?
Well,
Am I doing something wrong?
I say this, for one, we should have been in that game. Numbers 19-21, they missed my ball on the 2-point, but that's neither here or there. And then you were speaking to.
I was speaking to in regards of you coming in as a freshman,
Gotcha.
and guys like a Major Wright leave out in 3 and you stayed in 5. Do you feel like, damn, am I doing something wrong? Am I still on track or what?
I remember where I was at with it. Well, just know that competitive, that chip on our shoulder, that feeling like we need to win, that's instilled in us from like 4 or 5, right? To where don't get no more of a competitive, but like, and I get this from the wife, right? She's a psychologist, and I'm always, asking for sessions, right? She said a big part of who we are ends up being, our primary caretaker and where we were raised, our environment. And, it's almost like a gift and a curse of how dense and competitive it is down here, right? To where, if a guy who lived around the corner from me is out in 3 years, well, I know I should have the ability to, so some of it is good stress, right? Some of it is you need to have somewhat of an accountability partner, right? But you have to make sure that you don't end up watching someone else's race and not running your own.
There you go.
So, you can see in your peripheral, but you definitely can't let it knock you off track, right? You can't want to get there so fast that you're willing to pull the man next to you down to get there, right? So, like, any of the things that are outside of just getting better at running your own race ends up being a distraction from the true goal. So, yeah, there was times there where a little bit of doubt crept in. I'm not going to act like I'm just was this mental bulletproof guy. But man, as much of a relationship, I won't say that me and my dad didn't have, because we did have one, but that presence, he was kind of up in Morgantown where I eventually went and played ball. He did a great job at providing that part for me, for as many games as he may have missed grinding out there for me back when I was younger. when I really hit, I mean, from my pace and track to a few injuries that I suffered in, like, he was there to give me that nudge that I needed to get me past those tough gaps. And I know, all of my guys don't have a dad at all to give them anything, let alone, present there when you need it most, to be able to give you that kick in the butt that you need to push through. So, and I don't know if I couldn't have done it without those things, because there's times where you do think that you can't do it anymore,
Sure.
So why? So my question is why? What is your passion to come back and give to these kids? Why? What is it you think the community needs?
Like out the gate, right? I come from a football family. You seen the little football dolls in our house, like, from as far back as you can, the little glass football characters, that we all got, right? That down to there being an inherent connection with us from that youth football standpoint, to where I didn't have any brothers growing up. So those guys were family, right? Like, those are my real brothers. And Street, remind me again, I do got ADHD out of me hitting the head a few times. Jog my memory again. What was the question at hand again?
The community, like, why you felt you done been to the top, you done made money. Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, you could be doing anything. You and your beautiful wife, y'all could be doing anything.
Yeah.
Why? What is it you feel these kids need? Like, why? Because you've been at Ely for a while. Like, why the urge to give back?
You connected me right back to it, right? I touched on the youth football piece, because as far back as I can remember, right, my family was the team moms. From my grandfather, like, there was always that no child left behind kind of attitude, to where every kid ate after the game, every kid made it home after the game. So, like, truly, I think that's where where it really starts from. My mom, grandmother, like, they're caretakers, they're givers, old school, we all eat, one eat, we all eat, one fight, we all fight, kind of thing, and I think that really got my mindset right for what it would take in order to build a brotherhood and give on a continuous basis. My stepmom, right, she did a really good job at interjecting some philanthropic activity in my career right there at the very beginning. She's behind the prom visit with Jocelyn Lavelle. And I will say that the rush that I got from doing that from her really kicked off my career in philanthropy. From there I took a kid with epilepsy to
Super Bowl.
From Chicago down to Indianapolis. That was the David Tyree catch game.
It's on the helmet, yeah.
Oddly enough, like, he baptized me with that same hand, right? He baptized. Real big faith guy. But that kind of kicked off my nonprofit. Started maybe 15 years ago at this point. I went from helping out at a lot of the local youth camps to having my own. This is our 10th year coming up. I hope I don't hurt anyone's feelings, but this may be our last year, kind of thing. See us transit, and it's hard for me to chase them babies now, right? I see us transitioning to things that I do a little bit more of now, like golf. And I get a kick out of it, man. I get sheer joy and feel like I was put here to help underserved communities, people who need it most, helping people reach their full potential. So a lot of it is real natural, man, and just getting it from my family.
Quickly, you brought up two things. You brought up the young lady that you took to the prom. A lot of people may not know that story. Tell people that was when you were at West Virginia. Just tell us quickly kind of how that story that you say your stepmom kind of helped facilitate that. But what's the basis behind the whole story and what happened?
The real basis is the fact that, I have a younger brother, Jared, who has autism, and having someone in your family who's struggling with things on the daily kind of opens your heart to everyone who's struggling with things on the daily. For my brother, Jared is autism. For Jocelyn Lavelle was spina bifida, right? For the kid up in Chicago, Anthony Granberry, it was epilepsy, right? And I started to realize that these are special needs, right? This is a grab bag of things that it could possibly be that could be affecting your progress, right? And although that, kids who struggle with special needs may be different, doesn't mean that they can't live the same life and have the same joys that we do. And I always try to close that gap when it comes to special needs. And I feel as maybe as passionately about that as maybe youth sports, leadership, education, anything in that wheelhouse are things that I think can be productive for society, man.
But about the prom in particular, so you take this young lady to her high school prom? Were you a junior?
So
her 8th grade. Okay, I'm sorry.
She actually rode my brother Jared's bus, the same bus he went home from. And when my stepmother Rochelle Thomas, she caught wind of her maybe not having a date. And you remember me telling you earlier that I came in during a lockout year? Well, if we don't have a lockout, I'm not available to even take her on the date. Right. Wow. So it was pretty divine. I just felt like it just had to happen at that point, me being available for it. I was back in Morgantown just trying to stay fit, training up until, camp was ready to roll. And
so you were out of college at the time.
Yep, I just graduated. Once again, this was like a dead period for us, where there was a real lockout we were in. Like it just happened to be my rookie year, me coming into the league when they shut it down, right? So just trying to stay, really me staying up in Morgantown was my way of staying, safe. Quite honestly, man. We know there's tough areas everywhere. Unfortunately, I lost a good friend of mine to gun violence while I was in college. That kind of really made me just stay up there and work out during the breaks. It's one of those things that was real natural, and it worked out well, man. What I was more, this was the birth of social media as well, too, right? I was amazed by how many people found out about it and how many people still remember me more for that moment than anything else that has ever transpired in my career. Yeah.
That's good though. That's good stuff, man. Shout out to you, because what I do that during the day. I work with kids with special needs, exceptional student education, and so forth and so on. So, big shout out to you for doing that. And that's a memory that young lady will have forever. You know what I mean? So big shout out to you.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, Street, you want to drum roll this thing? What we gonna do? Because I want to get into some. Coach stuff. Hey, we just spent 45 minutes of finding out who this dude is. Street, I'm ready to get into some. I'm ready to pick his brain. He doing all that coaching on that video in the beginning. Coach ready to clutch.
Yeah.
No, let's get into it, man. Let's get into it, man. The reason you're here, I mean, he came here to announce you wanted to be a high school head coach. You know what I'm saying? You have been helping out with Ely for a while, and now you're getting a chance. And he said you want to come on here, man, Hayes Street, man, with old Street and Hayes and announce it. So let's get into it, man. Let the people know where you'll be coaching at.
Well, and I'll do a good job at, highlighting the all the work that it took to even get to this decision, right? Initially when I was done with ball, I didn't want to see it. Didn't want to be close to it at all. Just wanted to, couldn't get away from it, man. You don't realize how much ball is everywhere until you're trying to get away from it, right? Still was maintaining my relationship with the kids that I was mentoring and coaching. But I've always been, there on the sidelines at Ely whenever I could potentially be, as oddly enough, they offered me the job a while ago, man. It wasn't quite the right time and the right fit as far as personnel that they had there at the school. No knock on anyone there at the school. It was one of those things where this is my second time around really taking it as serious as I've had up to this point. And being as close to the game as I was this past year, man, it really put things back in perspective for me personally. Like, you've been given this gift and you've invested so much in this game. What's the best and most strategic way for you to have some serious impact in it? And for me, I think the best way for me to give back to, is coaching, and when you realize in South Florida that coaches don't almost get paid nothing, it really becomes a nonprofit and a labor of love kind of thing.
Yes,
but but between my fire kind of being lit again, and really all the new challenges / opportunities that are here for the kids now, I do think that there's a huge like margin of value on the quality of coaching that can be provided to the kids at the high school level. I don't think that only the private schools deserve a high quality coaching staff to be able to mentor kids, right? If anything, our public schools need it most, right? And when we have success, I think it means even more. And really these last few weeks and days, this last month for me, has really started to catch some momentum in the coaching space. I went to the AFCA conference this year in Charlotte. That was great. I actually saw Coach Juve up there. I whooped up on your boy Teddy Bridgewater and Tommy Shula in the Broward and Dade game, and I like the way that felt.
Oh, okay.
I ain't gonna hold you. I like the way that felt.
All right, now don't give him some bulletin board material.
Hold on,
in the playoffs next year.
Tommy Shula coaching? He's coaching. Tommy Shula coaching.
He's the offensive coordinator at Central.
But they only 7-on-7.
With all that over there, they only scored 15 points.
Okay. Oh Lord, don't get Tommy Shula to talking now. Go ahead now.
It's oddly enough bulletin board material. You got to catch my podcast one day. That's the name of my pod. And then they're right there on your title, man. Right to where, I've been trying to be the hero. I've seen it in my eyes the same way Teddy was able to come back to his school and have some success. Right. For me, right, I feel like I've given enough to one area long enough that rather than feeling like it has to be done one place, we need more leaders and more places that can do the same things for similar communities. Pompano tough, but they ain't the only neighborhood who need help. You know what I mean? And although I got family a little bit all over, I do feel like the majority of the work that I want to do is somewhere between, Palm Beach and Broward County, right? And with all those things said, literally like, it says right there on the screen, becoming a villain, right? I actually like the villains. I actually like Bang. I actually like the bad guys in the sense of I try to be a hero long enough. And I'll take this quote from Batman, right? Where it say, when you're a hero longer, you be a hero long enough, you'll live long enough to see yourself become the villain kind of thing, right? And that's kind of the approach I'm taking in a sense of not worrying so much about the optics and what it looks like, but just fighting a good fight. You know what I mean? Being okay with it if you hate the fact that I may make some moves that you may or may not, love, but making it more about the kids. Yeah, you can be upset at me, but watch my kids. Watch me send 15, 20 off a year and compete with me on that. Be mad with me about you not sending this. You know what I mean? Let's compete about some things that's going to move the needle, right? So, and I'll do one more just round before I go ahead and let this thing rip, man. I want to thank, Coach McFadden for welcoming me with open arms and having those long talks and us building and trying to help the program reach its full potential. Major shout out to Ely's administration, Coach T, Tavares, to me that they're young and only going to get better over time. And then my players, man, my babies, like really, I thought about them more on this move than anything else. You know what I mean? But I think the real will know and will commend like what we're trying to do here. So without further ado, I'll be taking my talents. I got my LeBron going on right now. I'll be taking my talents to Deerfield Beach High School.
Let's go, Bucks in the building, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Congratulations to you, bro.
Good, man.
Deerfield Beach.
Yeah. Appreciate the time, man.
That's huge, man. Congratulations, brother. Good, man.
This opportunity presented itself very organically, man. It went in just me sticking a toe in to maybe look at a potential opportunity. to me feeling like if I don't make this move, that it'd be the worst decision that I ever made, kind of thing. You know, I remember competing with Deerfield back when I was at Ely, and they were one of our tougher opponents. You know what I mean? And those things leave a mark on you. You remember those things when you know that somebody else may be just as passionate about the game as you are, right? You know, Dillard is a rival to Ely, and Deerfield Beach is too. You know, I think about Deerfield Beach and the connection that I have among the alumni. JPP, one of my best friends down here in South Florida. Me and Denard Robinson, Shoelace. We were super excited. He's crushing it up at Lead Academy, right up there in Michigan. He's a head coach now at a JUCO up that way, doing some great things as well too.
Oh, is he? Good, man.
Yeah,
good.
Yeah. You know, got about 6 active guys in the NFL, from the Brandon Powells. You know, they got a real good base of fans and support in the community. You know, and I think they have enough, you know, there's enough athletes in Deerfield Beach alone to where if I only recruited Deerfield Beach, it'd be enough to be competitive. Let alone the surrounding cities, man. It's like, you know, we're naturally going to have to get on it because, you know, to the north of us, you got Atlantic. To the south of us, you got Ely. To the west, you got Monarch and West Boca, right? Couldn't be a better situation for someone like myself who's looking for the competition, right? So, yeah, man, I'm excited about it. I want to thank Principal Marlowe for offering me the opportunity. Miss Dees, Miss Hill, you know, I can go on and on. Coach DeVoe's there. Just a lot of good things that are trending in the right direction for the program. Another guy I gotta shout out, man. Shout out to Javon, Glenn Fife, Fife Dog, man. Yeah, man. That's my OG. You know what I mean? Like I can't call him my homeboy, my brother. That's somebody who I admire and look up to. Received me with open arms and was a big part of why I was able to be confident enough to make the decision. Yeah, man. You know who I really got to thank, man. You know, just had my second child under 3 years. Man, I'd be remiss if I did not really thank my wife, man, for considering. Because the timing is right. Got to put that part in there.
Yeah, hey, I'm trying to put the extra for you, dog. Clap it up for us, dog. Clap it up for him.
Yeah. You know. But from the timing of it all, you know, to have 2 really small children, can be a bit tough to fathom. But my pursuit to the NFL was faith-based, right? You know, in this moment, I feel like I'm pouring into my purpose, and my wife recognizes that, and I really appreciate her understanding how important it is for me to really take this role seriously and to have a chance to lead some kids, man. So
they talking Deerfield Beach, Ely Dillard. They're not happy with this. They ready for you, man. They are ready for you, man.
You know, man.
Let's ask these questions, man. Let's get into this a little coaching, man. What's the first order of business, Head Buck? What's the first order of business?
You know, for one, so we have a press conference tomorrow at 3:00 in the auditorium in Deerfield, and you know, it's funny. I talked about this today with the principal. You know, the community is great, right? You know, I definitely want to get out to Deerfield and get in the community, right? But I think it's important to address the staff there at the school first. You know, the people who are going to be assisting you in supporting the program. You know, among the many stakeholders that's going to be in the building tomorrow, I want to talk to the school and let them know what we're trying to do here. From there, for sure, talk to my players and parents. You know, that message will be a little bit different to the players. And then getting to work in the community for sure, starting here in Deerfield first. You know, we have enough talent to win a state championship at Deerfield. You know,
I love it.
Championships at Deerfield. You know, let's just take a little snippet, right? You know, for a 10-year run there, right, between 2013 and 2022, we won 72% of our games. Right? Yeah, we've had a tough last few years, but you know, don't think that there isn't some residual value of doing something right for a decade. Like, there's still people that are waiting to see what they once saw And there's still kids that remember watching Deerfield be one of the best teams in the land. So I think that prestige, and those memories will allow us to reach our goals a lot quicker than maybe not as long. He was having tons of success right away, but that will assist in following up with what Coach Fife was able to do while he was here. So I'm excited about that part. I know I'm at a decent high school that has the ability to do some great things, and it won't be because we don't have enough support or enough kids or enough talent. I like that we're a real diverse school and safe school. We're getting kids graduated, and we just need to get back to our winning ways and to be able to lead by example by putting the work in first. So, you want to get some talent and good players in, all that stuff is cool, but you want that to be natural. I want to build it around the process, and the most important part of the process is the input. Well, what are we putting in? Like, the only thing that I can guarantee the kids that are going to come to Deerfield Beach is that you're going to work harder than you ever worked in your life. And just know good things come with that. I don't have to tell you how much we're going to win. What I can tell you is that you need to be ready for winter training, and we'll take things from there. So and then outside of that, I would say the most important part, which I think is the job of the head coach, got to get good guys around you. Even more than players right now, I'm looking for the very best coaches. And you don't have to be Jason Taylor. I don't expect you to be. I expect you to be there. I expect you to put it in the same way. I expect to not outwork you. I expect you to be a role model for the kids and to not take our job lightly. But that's some of that old pro in me, to where I have to get guys around me who know what it looks like, so that there's no drop off in what the standard is. And I've seen enough at this point, man. I've tried to assist. And no knock on any of the people who I've had the pleasure to assist. I've learned something from all of them. They all have great traits, but we're all different too. My style's a little bit different than most. To the kids that are there, those who stay will win. Like those who stay will win.
Schembeckler, those who stay will be champions, huh?
Yeah.
I love it. Street, what you got, man? What you got for? Cause me and Coach about to get in his X and O's.
I'm telling him now. All right, now with all this coach speak up here, Coach Hayes over there grading you, dog. We talk about these coaches and Coach Hayes over there grading you, Coach Hayes. Go ahead. He's talking to real, like he's just giving us the book. We're gonna be multiple in the front. We're gonna be vested in the back. We're gonna work hard, get it in.
Listen. I mean, he said, like I say, man. Shout out to you, and yes, I that's why I'm over here grinning, because I am excited for you. Even though it's my first time meeting you. Well, my second time. First time was you was playing, but my second time, I didn't know you did, but the second time meeting you technically, and I'm excited for you, man, because I can hear the passion in your voice. I can hear that. And it is genuinely, I can genuinely tell you want the best for the kids, the community, all of that stuff. Talking about doing things at the school is huge. And that's big right there, right? But all of that sounds great, but they got to put the work in. And I love what you said. As a coach, I tell you what I used to tell my coaches. Coach, make sure you're here every day. Don't be just here on picture day. Huh? You tell your wife something different because you got to go take the picture. But yeah, you can't do that on game day. I need you to be here as much as anybody. If you can't do that, then, and I'll say this, just a kind of public word of advice. And you get my number after this. You call me, you got any questions, whatever, you more than welcome. When you interview coaches, don't interview them. You basically letting them interview you, because I'm telling you what I want from you. Don't tell me, you get what I'm saying? Like, look, I need you to do this, and this, because what you're trying to do and build and the passion that you're bringing to this, you need soldiers with you with that same passion. You know what I mean? Not just be out there because I want to be part of the team, get a hat and a whistle and be like, yeah, well, I coach such and such. Nah, dog. Nah, it's gonna take some long hours. You know, man, I used to be there so long, bro. I'd be there first shift and second shift for the custodian. They used to Coach Hayes be closing the building down in 10 minutes. That's 11:30 at night. And I'd be there at 6:30 in the morning. And I can see it in your face, bro. You passionate and make it like you said it. Find the guys around you that got that same passion, and success is around the corner for you, bro. I can't wait to follow this, man. I can't wait to follow.
Yeah. Hey, man. And I just appreciate y'all, man. Like, you know, bringing me on the platform, giving me an opportunity to share this with everyone. And just believing me in me as a person, right? You know, allowing me on this platform to even, you know, to expose the program in a way that, you know, could be beneficial for us. I know that means a lot. You know, everybody else may not recognize the power of media and what it can mean for your program, but I know we do, and we appreciate it. So anything that we can do going forward to support the show, we would love to do that. You know, maybe it means having this conversation more regularly, you know, but I will say this, you know, we would have to look into that, because I do feel like these are one of the last times that you'll hear me talk this much about what we're going to do. You know, all that you'll hear from me going forward are things like stay ready.
Done.
You know, stay ready. You know, that's all I have for people at this point. You know, stay ready.
That's good stuff, man.
It is good stuff, bro.
Let me ask you this, man. How long have you been coaching after you finished? Because I know you had some business ventures prior to this. How long have you been coaching high school football?
So even more than high school, right? You know, me saying that I'm from a football family. You know, my dad was finishing up his career when I was in Little League. You know, I'm on the sideline at 4 or 5 years old, like learning personnel.
Gotcha.
I'm responsible for personnel. I can barely see over there, and I'm calling out the personnel at 4, 5, 6 years old.
11.
You know,
12.
You know, back then it was 150, right? You know, the 150 pound, right?
Right.
And I'm watching the big boys, and I'm out there with my dad, and we calling out personnel.
Right.
You know, as far as, you know, the coaching goes, right? Or the fact that my dad like owned a semi-pro team, right?
Which team? Which team was it?
It was the West Virginia Wham. They were up.
They were in West Virginia. Okay.
Yeah. You know, what I remember is, you know, my dad having me in the practices when I was like in middle school, and like it's grown men out here, like, you know, and him coaching me through that, like letting me know, hey, you're shadowing him. Like I want you to play right behind him, like you're in the game.
Gotcha. That's interesting.
So really, even more than me doing the coaching, like I'm remembering being coached. You know what I mean? As far as it pertains to me coaching, the moment I was done with ball, so let's say about 7 years ago, I came home and just went right out to my high school, just standing around. No different than what Teddy has done. You know, now I haven't had as much success of actually getting to a position where I can actually control what's going on, you know, out there. But you know, once again, that's not something I'm chasing anymore, right? You know, it's not about having to be at one particular school. I think it's about getting these kids out of here, you know, and then it's not just about getting them out of here. No, where, you know, I want to get you in, I want to get you better, I want to help you reach your full potential, you know, and then, you know, there's no harm in me saying that I want to get you paid. Like I want your life to be changed before you ever leave school. Sure. You know, all the things that you have in mind for yourself can be accomplished before you ever leave campus. And if you do it right, you'll actually be set for life. I mean, the way the time value of money works, I mean, these guys are so young. If they can start investing their money in their teens, nothing can stop them from being millionaires in the future. So like, you know, yes, the football piece is great. You know, I don't know if Darryl mentioned this earlier. I'm an advisor by day. So, you know, I'm always between finance and football. Like even more than teaching the kids about what gap the blitz. Hey, sons, and telling them a little bit more than save something for a rainy day. You know, we remember all that is good. No, I'm going to give you some direction. You know, I'm going to send you to see someone. Let's schedule an appointment, you know, kind of
Bro, it sounds like your coaching playbook gonna be like APR.
Hey.
Come on, talk to me. Bitcoin. Check
Coach,
Bitcoin.
If you
Sell
don't
high,
mind,
sell high. Buy
Coach,
low.
if you don't mind, Coach, I'm gonna
Take it.
use it. I'm gonna take that.
That's right. That's what we're here for.
Coach.
Hey, that's what I'm
that
here
a lot.
for.
I like that a lot. Hey, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Day trade.
Man.
Come on.
No, that'll be cool. No, but Coach, what you just said is real. One of the first coaches I had a conversation with was Fife. Because we always in our community, we love saying, "Hey, man, I don't want nothing from you, man. I just want to see you do good." And we push them out the door, and we push them to a bunch of people that want something from them, right? When at the end of the day, a lot of times the genuine people in their life were the ones who was there when they didn't have nothing.
Right.
I started telling Fife, no, have the money conversation with Jerry Judy. Start having those conversations. Every time Mama asks you to pick him up and take him, start having them conversations. They asking you to pick him up and go get him and take him to practice and bring him home. Well, okay, start having some real conversations with them. They trusting you to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because we're saying we don't want anything and we're breaking the chains off from them. And me and Coach Have had these same conversations.
Mm-hmm.
And you're pushing them to people who you don't know why they're there anymore because now they have a reason to be there.
Mm-hmm.
It's not an uncomfortable conversation. I don't give a damn. You make your whole playbook call goddamn cryptocurrency. Like it has to be injected somehow because working that hard to make a lot of money and then not knowing what to do with money, it's
criminal.
Stupid.
It's criminal. Yeah.
Yeah, it is criminal. It is.
We all want to be rich. We all go to football practice every day. Want to be the best player. Well, you want to be the best player so you can make money. Now you make money and you don't know what to do with it. So yeah, no, it's definitely. I mean, yeah, to that point, man, and to what you were saying, start understanding that now as teens. Invest in that every day. You know what I mean? Yeah, no, I think it's brilliant. I said it jokingly, but I also said it seriously. Like I've seen people do their playbooks like that. They don't have to use the typical terminology because you actually get to create your own language. You get to create your own English, your own Spanish, your own French. That's all football is. The words that mean something, right? And so whatever that is, you know. And so, bro, I think it'll be brilliant. Go ahead, man, run with it. You know what I mean? But make sure I get an ROI when you win the state championship. Let me get one and it just say playbook maker.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying. I think it's great because there are terms that they don't hear. And it sounds like French to them. They've never heard ROI. They've never heard those type of things, right? And so, but they know what blitz is at age 4, right? Like you just said, I know how to call out personnel. But how many financial advisors knew what 12 personnel was when they were 4? So it's the same, it's just in reverse. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't need football, but everybody need financial literacy. So yeah, definitely, man, definitely. Let me ask you a question that was asked to me. I was asked this in an interview one time, and I've never forgot it. What is the best thing you've ever learned from a coach? You can leave them nameless that you would love to implement in your program. And what's the worst thing you've ever learned from a coach that you would never implement in your program?
I would say that. Now you're talking strategy or the whole
whatever that is. What's the best thing that stuck that you said I gotta, and what's the worst thing you said whatever that is pertaining to the game?
Well, the one that sticks out to me, my coach Bobby Babbage gave this to me, my first linebacker coach in the league, and he was just big on knowing your stuff, right? You know, being on time. You know, it had us on grid sheets, kind of writing out. Like he was real detailed about how we went about things, and he kind of summed it up in this, right? And it took me a while to get it, right? But he would say, "Be a pro," right? And as simple as that sounds, right? You know, when you're one of the guys, you get it. You understand what that means, right? That there's no reason why I'm late. Like there's not an excuse that I can give you have to do with me being late. You know what I mean? Not being on time, being early, being 5 minutes. In New York, we were on Coughlin time. Every clock was set 5 minutes early, right? But to me, that was a part of being a pro, being early. To where once you made it there, if you were on time, you were like one of the last people coming in that you kind of disturb people. I would just say that was as simple as it sounds. Just then, be a pro. Like that's like in everything. That's like in life. You tell somebody you're gonna do something, do it. You know what I mean? You got a problem, come tell me. You come tell me. Like, do you have a problem or do you want attention? You know what I mean? Be a pro. And I won't say worse advice then, right? But it did end up.
Advice is practice, the way they handle practice, whatever it is.
I would say it wasn't the worst advice then, but it cost me a few, not 100 or close, but a few thousands of dollars. My uncle used to tell me when I was little, you want to kiss them, right. Pretty much he's coaching me on how to have head-to-head contact, right? Where it's hard to undo that. Like once you tell a kid to kiss a man, like I'm trying to kiss.
Coach, where we going with this, Coach?
I'm trying to kiss right? But ball players know what I mean. Like when someone say kiss a man, to where putting your face in the fan, right?
Yeah.
To where like the way I was reared growing up, like that full contact mindset, like growing up, like that'll get you in a lot of trouble in the league these days. Like you'll find yourself upside down in your career. You keep it up with the league. So and not that I would take that back. I'd rather be who I am than anything else. But I could. It's kind of hard to undo that once you're coach to run through somebody's face. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Street, what you got, man?
Get some.
Yeah, face to face.
Face man to face, man.
You said that was the worst thing?
Yeah. You just said we kissed him right in the mouth. You really do. Kissed him right in the mouth.
Hey, everybody know that baller lingo. I ain't gotta hit you with the know this or pause that. Like this baller out here now. Like it ain't no. I got a wife.
You gonna kiss that dude, boy. That mean, hey, you know what I mean?
Y'all.
But that's what I get exactly what you're saying. I know what you mean.
Sure.
You can't do that in today's society. Now you gotta say pause or whatever. Whatever, man.
Yeah.
Have you got some of your staff together yet, or that's all in the making?
Yeah, I got some guys in mind. I don't want to put anything out there. The guys know who they are. They've been contacted.
I just text you an OC, bro.
Okay. I got
take a look at him.
I got
that's my dude. That ain't our dude. Huh? That ain't our dude, Street.
No.
I got 12 interviews next week. I got one when we get off this call that was really supposed to be, at 9, but it's all good. Hey, we move some things around and go with the flow and
sure.
We're gonna knock this thing out tonight. Yeah.
That's right. Hey, that you know what's funny, man? As you talking about, I remember that journey, man. Doing 3-4 interviews at night, people coming to the school, coming in and out. This because you got the work ethic, but it's just funny that coaching and playing ain't too different when it comes to the work ethic. Putting in the work, putting in the time.
Come on, coach.
It's not that far apart. You just all you did put the helmet down and pick up the headset. That's all you really doing. But it's the same amount of effort, if not more, actually, from the coaching side. Because when the players leave, you still got a whole nother shift left.
Now.
You know what I'm saying? So,
now.
Yeah. So because you got to remember, I got to look at what you just did and then either scrap what we like, what we don't like, or add what we do like to get you prepared for tomorrow. And so it's a lot of nuances to coaching, man. And back to you saying, you got to have a great crew with you that's got your back. You know what I mean?
I'll add something to that, Coach.
Sure.
Just for the coaches out there, man. Like, as far as maybe I don't have coaches to tell you that I'm interviewing, but what I can tell you is that, I check with my coaches to be to make sure it's okay that I even interview guys. Like, you know,
That's
even
a
when,
pro.
you know,
You being a pro.
you know, and I think guys need to know that that's how you're supposed to do it. Like, you know, you don't just hit up a guy for one, you don't just throw an offer in a guy lap, right?
Mhm.
Like, I mean, if I'm that guy, I'm not just taking that offer. You ain't got no kind of process, right? Like, interview me for, like, see if we even a good fit. You gonna throw me the OC job without seeing if we speaking the same language, you know, or homeboying it up? Like, nah, we have an interview process. You know what I mean? We like you. We have another sit down. You know, yeah, you know, just taking it one rep at a time. Yeah, you can't sign them all at one time, and I'd rather make sure I got the right guys than the first guys. You know,
There you go. And I used to tell the coach all the time, bro, I worked hard to get my name on this marquee. And one thing I won't be is uncomfortable. And I don't want you to ever be uncomfortable. So if you ever feel like you're uncomfortable around me, please resign, leave, no harm, no foul. And if I ever feel uncomfortable around you, you're gonna have to go. Because if this ship ever go down, it's gonna say Coach Hayes did it. It ain't gonna say my assistant coach did this. It's gonna say Coach Hayes steered the Titanic into the iceberg. It ain't gonna be like the first mate did it. So, like I said, if you ever feel uncomfortable around me, bro, no harm, no foul, coach, man. I appreciate y'all. Hey, man, go ahead. And if I feel uncomfortable around you, because we're gonna spend a lot of time together, man. And so, yeah, it's huge. I'm excited. Real quick. Do you plan on being the defensive coordinator, or you plan on giving those duties up
I was
immediately?
just about to ask him that before we get out of here. I was just gonna ask him that.
you know, I'm more of a GM than anything. You know, I'm pretty hands off. I like to manage the game. You know, I want to be aware of the very important times in the game where the coach has a chance to even more than winning games for kids. Coaches have to figure out how to not lose games for kids. Like, you know, being aware enough to have that timely timeout or to be able to recognize, you know, something that we can exploit. But I like to let my guys coach. I'd rather spend more time finding the best guys than spending more time drawing up the best plays. You know what I mean? And then just the way I'm trying to build it, you know, I'm not trying to kidnap anyone. You know, hopefully I've added enough value to your game, you know, for you to be a head coach somewhere else soon, you know. And if you're not working up the ladder, you know, you're trying something different. You're learning another side of the ball. You know what I mean? So I will hope that everybody involved would be able to understand, you know, what we're trying to accomplish. You know what I mean?
Love it, man. Street, before we get up out this thing, man, I love it, man. Coach, go ahead, talk to us.
I knew Hayes was gonna be all into this. So before we get out of here, Coach, man, tell the people at Difffield who they getting, man. I think that's who you need to talk to. That's who you about to be serving for the next couple of years.
Yeah, you know, you're getting JT Thomas III, man, right? You know, we talking about this earlier. The way I'm just another guy. I'm blessed, man. You know, but with that being said, you know, I do have high expectations for our program. I feel like I was put here to serve and lead, man. You know, I truly feel like this is just a step towards me serving my purpose. And I would say more than anything else, you know, as I'm speaking to the community, when I'm speaking to the kids, like there's a few things that this program is going to be based in and around. First, faith. Like the kids will understand faith and God, and they can choose whatever prophet that they want to follow, but they're going to have an understanding of a greater power than themselves, right? When you get me, you definitely get my family, right? You're getting the wife, kids, you're getting the mom, grandma. We're a family. We roll deep. You know, you'll see family on my team. You'll see family in my coaching staff, to where faith and family, that's necessary, right? And then the last piece, you know, a lot of people like to go to age-old faith family football piece, right? But that last F for me is focus. Like I want to show the kids what can happen if you stack enough days up enough. You know, if you get 1% better every day, and what that looks like over 3-4 years at a time, right? You know, what it looks like when you do stay somewhere for more than a sip of tea, right? Like showing them the benefits of actually having a program that's growing you and developing you, rather than just, you know, passing time, you know.
Sure.
So I would say that they're getting someone that's just more than a coach, like that's a person, and wants the kids to grow not only on the field, but definitely off the field, you know, more so in life than the game at the end of the day. So, you know, I know that might be a gutful, you know, but yeah, that's just me trying to, you know, give a good idea of what it is, man.
Well, 3 o'clock. Is it 3 o'clock tomorrow? We're at the school. Is that what it's going to be? An auditorium, gym, what?
Yeah, 3 o'clock in the auditorium.
Okay.
At Deerfield Beach High School. So, you know, I'm welcoming all stakeholders. You know, I want everyone. I ain't ducking no smoke. You know, I want aunties, uncles. You know, I want, you know, godfather. You know, whatever you are, find yourself in the building. Ask all the questions you want. Let's get it out the way, kind of thing, right? And then, you know, if anybody has any questions that they just felt like needed to be answered before they knew what they were actually getting there, that they have an opportunity to, you know, even the press conference piece, right? Just, you know, you can just take on a job, or you can tee it up in a way that provides some value to people. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Cool. Who that first game, Coach? Who that first game?
Oh yeah, you know, our first game gonna be against ourselves. You know, to where the only people we come.
I like that answer. Coach, you media trained, Coach. I love it. I love it.
That's the only we're not looking for. Like we're gonna be where our feet are. Like we're gonna show up. We're gonna compete every day though. Like seriously though, you know what I mean? Like that can actually make you better when you're across from someone who competing with you so bad they almost don't like you. Like they have to remind themselves that.
I love it.
I won't have to pull you apart and wake you up. You know what I mean? So yeah, just getting that competitive edge back first, and then the rest will work itself out once we can fight a little bit.
Coach, you better than me. They asked me that. I'm like, we play with Kava, you know, Kennard Lane, Miami Great was there. We play with Kava. We're going to whoop they behind. I was straight into it. I ain't had no media training. We're going to whoop they butt. Yeah.
Oh, man, it's all good, man. It's all
straight
good.
Loose.
Straight for they told me, my first game, very first game, referee say, Coach, this ain't Dade County. Don't come up here with that ish.
That's messed up, though.
No, very first game, referee say, Coach, this ain't Dade County. Don't come up here with that ish. I was like, hey, let's get it then. But anyway,
I turned up sometime. If I have to get myself a get back coach for my own self, I will. Yeah, but good. You know what they say? We rather tell that horse to whoa than to get it up now.
So it is.
It can take you being a little turn.
All right, man. Well, I guess let the people know where they can find you on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah, you know, I'm usually on Instagram, man. JT3 on Instagram. The real JT3 on Twitter. You know, and I'm somewhere on Facebook as well too. I'm a little less on there, man. But yeah, man. JT3 for the most part.
That's awesome. Proud of you, brother. I'm proud of you, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all the time, fellas. It means a ton, man.
We might come to a game. We might do a Hayes Street live on a Friday night, in Buck Country.
Spring practice or something, man. Come out there for a spring practice or something, man.
Y'all more than welcome. And then I would say this too, like, you know, for sure, you know, y'all welcome, right? But like any of my former, like, I hated ever feeling like when I was ever at a place I didn't get that invite and welcome back. Man, I need all my former Bucks to come back. You know, from the lead to the guys who didn't, like, we all important to this thing. So, like, I'm calling all my Bucks back to the home front. I'm calling all my kids from Deerfield, come back home. Come back home and watch what we're able to do. You know,
what did Brent Schaefer? Yeah, Brent Schaefer was
there.
Man,
Brent Schaefer.
Yeah, played at Tennessee, right?
Yeah. He's the only person that Deerfield, the only team that beat that state championship team. The one state championship we have, Brent Schaefer is the only person who beat us.
That's all right, man.
Yeah.
Well, listen, man, I done been around. Oh, here we go. Look, the producer in the building. She done threw your stuff up there already. The producer.
There it is.
Nice.
Have you been stalking that man the whole
show?
Nice.
My coach. Chocolate.
Y'all stop talking. Let him talk.
Man. It's all good.
Hey, JT, guess what? She say, let that man tell his story. Y'all two up there is just the cook.
I didn't even know you like that.
Nah, that's good stuff. That's good stuff, man. You know, anytime we on here having fun, you know it's somebody behind the scenes doing their thing, man. So
but we got a great community here too, man. We really do. We got a great community that come in and, you know, they support and so forth. So if any of you guys are in the Deerfield Beach area on a Friday night, go holler at them, man. Go out there and root for them. So I see that. I see you on Hayes Street. And that make it happen, man.
Yeah.
Well, we're about to get up out of here, I guess. Street, any last words, man? What I'm feeling shorts at?
Coach, man. Go and get out there, man. Lead those kids, man, and add something to the community, bro. You got a lot to give to them.
For sure.
Sure. Yep. Stay ready, fellas.
Don't hang up. We about to cut this thing off. So with all that being said, make sure y'all go ahead and hit the like, share, and subscribe button on Coach Hayes Football, as well as Footballville, Caneville, Twitter. Them boys do all kind of stuff over there, man. You still on TikTok, Street? We still got TikTok.
Well, TikTok came back. TikTok died for a couple hours, boy, and that thing came back like the Undertaker.
He didn't like this. I need my 200,000 followers. Come on.
That thing came back like the Undertaker.
I love
Trump not canceled everything else, man. I'm surprised he brought something back to life.
She got it too, man. That's good. And CSI, I'm rooting for AJ to be great. That's awesome.
Thanks, guys.
All right, man. We out here. Peace, love, and we'll see y'all coming around again, man. Peace. Let me get a go Bucks while we in there. Let me get a go
man.
Bucks.
Go Bucks for sure, man.
Yeah.
Buck pride. Go Bucks, man.